Season 5, Round 9, Tier 2, Prospects E Sports Racing League, and what felt like the longest load time to get this race to start. We are in Hungary this week, looking to follow up on an amazing Canadian Grand Prix from last week, joined by Just Man Gaming, chiming in on mute.
Yep, how's everyone doing? Good to be here.
All right, we got 18 minutes here of quali on this track dating back to however long it is. The whole Grand Prix of Hungary dates back to 1936, but it's a very unique track. It kind of sits up like a table. It's got two long legs on the outside, curves in the middle, goes up and does some stuff. But it should be kind of exciting. Just a note, initially we got Lazalbo will not qualify due to a ban. He will start from the rear of the field, and we got Loquido Haha going on the track first, and then Bubbers behind them. So what you got for us on Hungary?
Well, here at the Hungary Ring here in Budapest, Hungary, we have a 4.381 kilometer long track here, 35 laps around this historic track, where the first ever Grand Prix was back in 1986. And we're looking at around a race distance of around 153 kilometers long. The current fastest lap by the driver that has the most wins here at Hungary, Lewis Hamilton, back in 2020, where he set a time of a 1:16.627. So let's see if anyone is going to be able to match that. But Lokito Yaya, he is going to be the one to set the standard. First one to finish the outlap as well, as he comes around the 14 final corner. 14 corners make up this track as well. 8 rights, 6 lefts. Let's see how these drivers take it.
Just call him Yaya.
Loquito Yaya, yeah.
Well, that'd not be haha. It sounds like that's Spanish.
Well, I don't know which language it is, to be honest with you, so I just say Yaya, because some J's are pronounced in W's in some languages.
Funny retarded fact here. Major coup by Bernie Ecclestone, the 1986 Hungarian Grand Prix. It's the first Formula One race to take place behind the Iron Curtain, held here at the Hungarian in Magyaród near Budapest. Not completely in Budapest, I guess. The race has been a mainstay of the racing calendar ever since. It was the only current Grand Prix venue that have never seen a wet race up until 2006. That's a long, what is that, exactly 20 years of dry racing. And the first Grand Prix saw 200,000 people spectating, although tickets were very expensive at the time.
But let's see this now. Let's actually go on Loquito Haha as he makes his way now into Sector 3. Very crucial to get these 3 final corners correct. A tight 90-degree right-hander of turn 12, a little bit of a wider hairpin of turn 13, and an even wider one on the final corner of turn 14. Just going past the pit lane, he's going to go into throttle, hit the hammer as he makes his way towards the timing line. He's going to set the standard, a 1:17.214 for the Williams driver out there. Let's see if anyone can match that or do even better.
Now, what times were we seeing in Tier 1 yesterday? Do you have any idea?
I actually have no idea. I just missed out on that. I think I saw a few 1:16.8s or 1:16.7s. If I do have a good memory, which mostly I don't. But, I could be wrong, I could be right. Want me to find out? Search it up. I'll be right back.
And Panda Man is here. Good job on that, Panda Bear. So our lineup today, you see on the left-hand side of our screen, Loquito currently on top. Simpster came in. He had a fairly impressive run last week. I can't remember how it really ended out. I don't think it ended out too well based on what he could have got. Guitar Man Khan managed just to set a time of a 1:16.344. Sticking his nose out there early. Maybe it's his week to finally shine. Still got a long way to go here, about 15 minutes in qualifying. But we got Khan, we got Haha, we got Simpster, we got Mason. That's a new name to me. It's Silva, Bubbers, Lazalbo, who again is starting from the rear of the field, Sam Brooks, Patty Mayonnaise, Panda Man, and the Ferrari. Maybe Ferrari gets off the hitches here. I know it took us a minute to load in here, and I'm seeing some pretty twitchy cars like right there. I am not a fan of the potential of some online issues in today's race.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bez, actually for both of us, Feldman, we've actually had a few experiences of online difficulties earlier on today, haven't we, mate?
yeah. It's I don't know what was up with that initial loading time. Usually it takes about half of that, and hopefully their servers got something going on. All I know is that the game would not start for me when I tried to start it today.
And we've actually had our first crash out on the field. It's going to be Craigie, who has crashed out on the exit of turn 4, I do believe. He's in the middle of the track, and it looks like his teammate of Cruise Steamers has crashed out just ahead of him out of turn 5, just before turn 6. So both of the AlphaTauris taking an early leave for the qualifying session, as Craigie could only set a 118.834, and Cruise Steamer's not even setting a time, so we'll be starting at the back of the grid with Page and also Albo.
Bold strategy, Kyle. Let's see if that pays off. But right now, we got Guitar Man Con surprisingly up first, going back into the pits. Pigmen Man, Bear Pig. Pigmen Man, Pigmen Man, Bear Pig. Yeah. Currently second, making another run in Tier 2 this week. He's coming back into the pits. Simster might be pushing for something here, but he might also be coming back into the pits. He's got 2 laps on those tires. It's still kind of early. Let's see what he does. He is coming in.
I also got news on the fastest lap out of Tier 1, and it was actually from FRL Jackson in the McLaren, where he set a 114.909.
So we're going to have to see at this point. I think somebody might take this pole at a 115.3. We'll have to see here. But Crew and Craigie are out. They're going on this bold strategy to start from the back and let everybody figure it out, I guess. Craigie is new to me this year. He's not been popped up in Tier 2 in any races I have done. PRL Owen looking to return to form this week. He's out there on mediums right now. Mayonnaise out there across the line. Got nothing. 117.764. He's still on mediums. A couple guys on mediums. Most guys are on mediums, actually, but...
Yeah. But let's see. But the top 5, though, has done their time on their set of softs. So it makes you question that what would be the best sort of strategy here at Hungary, because you have a lot of like tight and fast corners where you just need to go, like, those rubbers will be working extra hard just trying to get around the corners, especially with turn 1, that hairpin, very difficult to do, where you make your way down after the second DRS zone into turn 3, and then you also have the ending of sector 2, where turns 9, 10, and 11, those quick lefts and rights as they make their way down. And I think that is where we're going to be potentially seeing a lot of issues for these drivers. Those curves really mess you up, especially in the chicane of turns 5 and 6, and 7 and 8 as well. So we just have to wait and see.
It's worth noting right here, Patty Mayonnaise might just have something. He's coming into the final hairpin. He was fastest in a couple sectors. It's about to cross the line here. Let's see what he's got in the McLaren and see if he can push up that 9th any higher. Sam Brooks, by the way, did sneak in. I was going to chime in and see who was going to make a push. Mayonnaise bumps up to, I believe, 7th. Sam Brooks, though, 116.097. I was about to say, we're not close to that yet, but these what are they? These Alpines haven't set a time yet. Guelfi's also making his way back around, but he's not an Alpine. Who's the other Alpine? Where's the pirate guy at? Sam Brooks not have a teammate this week?
Yeah, Captain Jack, he's not gonna be here tonight. He's been having some issues. I know the guy personally, and I wish him all the best, but we will miss him here in Tier 2. He should be back as soon as everything is resolved, but my thoughts are with him. But oh, and actually Gilfie in the Williams just spun around turn 3 there. I kind of messed up the I can't believe I actually messed up the turning numbers, even though I have them written down on my piece of paper and I have it on my screen. But yeah, turn 3 is the exact same point to where Cruise Steamers has actually spun out. So almost repeating it, and he spun around again, not cooling down those set of rubbers at all, and will be struggling to finish off this lap.
Yeah, we're going to see once this race starts how everybody takes that first turn. I think I'm pretty confident that everybody will prep enough braking ahead of time into that turn 1. We probably shouldn't see any issues, but yes, the turn 2 and the turn 3. That back section is just going through sector 2 is It's kind of ridiculous there. I don't really see any passing coming in. People are going to try to outbreak each other through that section.
Well, desperate times call for desperate measures, and it all comes down to the driver's mentality if they have the confidence for it. But with 7 odd minutes left of qualifying, Sambros with the fastest of 1:16.097, almost breaking the 1:16 second barrier. Only needs to go a tenth quicker and he will be there. But with these drivers putting on their efforts, getting a little bit more rubber down on the track, they're going to just go faster as qualifying goes through. So we could potentially be seeing a 1:15 as soon as possible.
Yeah, Guelphy spun out. He really nailed that 1:52.990 there to get in a 16th. Hey, at least he's got a time in there, right? But we still got plenty of time left, 7 minutes. It's great how they put the sector, all the caution flags or whatever over the top of the time. They could have put it somewhere else. Go on board here with Simster, who is leading a pack out of sector 2. There's about 4 cars behind him. One of those looks to be Boyer in the Haas. So coming in here to the Doodle Noodle here, the second of the Doodle Noodles. Tight corners.
So I do like some noodles then.
Yeah, here we go, coming out. What is Simster got? Is he going to poke the bear for that top spot? And he does! 1:15.986. We finally got a crack into that 1:15, and he has pulled it out of his ass and taken this with about 6 minutes to go.
Well, another person I've been watching as well actually is Guitar Man Khan, currently third fastest at 1:16.344, has improved by a tenth into Sector 2. Looks like he's going even quicker in Sector 2 as well, as he now makes his way towards turns 9, 10, and 11. Very crucial to get this done. And actually, no, he eases off, so it looks like something happened there on his lap. But we'll be having to go for another one real quick. Gonna save up on that ERS and get back out there.
Right behind him is Man Bear Pigman coming in the Aston Martin through the Noodle Doodle section. It's like watching butter melt in the microwave. Slowly coming around here. Look, he's going to post a time. What's he got?
We have another crash. We have a crash of Loquito Loquito Haha.
I've ruined that.
As he made his way into the chicane.
Pigman does not improve on his time.
He doesn't improve on his position either. But yeah, Loquito Haha, as his teammate of Gilfy just passes by as well to see the damage. Looks like he's gonna be okay. Gonna get back out of that Williams car, get that into the garage ASAP for the race start. But David Boyer able to go up 7th fastest, and Dylan able to go up 5th fastest at 1:16.530 for the Alpine driver. He's a little bit warmed up as he had a race in a different league at actually Suzuka.
Folksy takes the pole.
That's a time right there from Folksy at 1:15.904, improving. Getting that pole position by 82 thousandths of a second. So now, this is when it comes to the drivers getting desperate to put in some good times here. Panaman Gaming back into the pits after not setting any sort of time. So he's going to have to talk with Jeff to see what would be the best plan of action here. But Folksy now has pole sitter.
Monster came in there at 7, out dueling his teammate currently by almost half a second in the McLaren.
Yep, and actually, fun fact about the McLaren, as they've in the real life scene, McLaren has actually has had the most wins at the Hungary Grand Prix. Sorry, I'm just stuttering all of a sudden. As they are the only team with 11. So let's see if Monster and Patty Pat can represent here. As I believe Monster is reserving for Leclerc, if I'm correct. And it looks like Leclerc, after getting that good result at Portimao, missing out on 2 races, could be messing him up. And Monster, having a little bit of a slippery exit there, was able to save the McLaren. But that ruined his lap there. He's going to have to go for another one.
A lot of guys coming back in the pits here for their final push up their times. 3 minutes left. We'll get that fake soccer extra time as well. Con out in the track now. Let's see, where is he at in the track? He is coming down that back stretch. But looks like he is off of the throttle. He'd probably be really happy with it. Folks, he's out. He's retiring. He's out. So right now it's got the pole, but we'll see if Simster's going to let this happen or not. Simster's in the pits. Folksy just said, screw it, I'll take what I got. On board here, we got a couple guys crossing the line. One might be De Silva, the other one might be De Silva sets he's currently 9th. Mason's out too, so Mercedes is happy with what they got. First and 9th so far. Don't know what's going on there. Hopefully no connection issues. A lot of guys in the pits.
Yeah, we're all praying at this point, crossing your fingers, just having some sort of luck that the servers here with the Codemasters.
So Silva goes around.
Oh, what happened?
So the Silva went around in turn 1.
Yep, and he's just waiting there to let the drivers through, playing the patient game. But I don't know how much patience he would have left. 2 odd minutes left of qualifying. This is these drivers' last chance to get some sort of timeout at Hungary. So they want to get as much of an advantage for the race start as possible.
Khan's out of the race as well, but Khan has he's currently 3rd. Khan's out of the race, but he needs to put a full race together. It looks like he can have the pace, but we'll have to see what happens. But right now, the only ones I think can compete for the pole is going to be Simster and Brooks. I think everybody else will be taking a step behind. I could be wrong.
Well, anything can happen, as always, in Prospects eRacing League. As now it is 1.5 minutes left. This is these drivers' last chance to cross the finish line, get in a time, and see where they will start here in the Grand Prix. Panaman Gaming finally starting a new lap after messing up a few times, and he's still trying to go with those medium tires. And
Brooks takes the pole.
That's a time right there, 1:15.838. That's the best one so far, and in the dire moments of qualifying, so a perfect time to put in that time as well.
Yeah, like I said, the one of the two that could do it is going to be up to Simster. I think Simster can grab this pole as long as he's got enough time to get back to the line for this runs out. Guelphy sneaking in with the cheddar cheese, 1:15.654 out of nowhere like the RKO. Guelphy, 1:15.654, 2/100ths of a second, or 2/10ths of a second, I take that back. Simster, I don't know if he can push close to half a second to get this pole. Guelphy pulling it out of his butt. We're going to see what we got here is we got 30 seconds left for those that are not already locked in.
Okay, and I'm still confused. Panda Man is back into the pits. And I don't know what his strategy is here. Going back into the pit lane is not going to be enough time for him to come out and set a lap. Sam Brooks has actually eased off on his lap, so it doesn't look like he's going to have that any sort of chance of making it into the 1:15.5s potentially. Owen, one of our very own here at PLR, is able to get into the 1:15s himself. A 1:15.911 for the man. Don't type that in your phone. And Alexa, please be quiet. But yeah, still a good time there for the Red Bull driver. And Patty Pat is actually stopped his one as well. Monster was improving by a 10th into Sector 2 and invalidated, so only 10th position so far, but Panaman is currently on an outlap.
Simster cut the course. He will settle for 5th.
Oh no. How fast was he going into that corner?
He had a couple purples on there. He had a chance to do this, but he cut the track somewhere, so he is in the red, and he is done and set for 5th. A couple quick times there to sneak in at the back end. We see our top 5 will probably be the top competitors for a chance to win this race, definitely for the podium, as long as nobody gets handsy and gets taken out. But these tend to be 5 of the more consistent competitors that have been a part of Season 5 here in Tier 2 this season. I was going to say year, but our seasons last like 3 months and they just increase. So, even with 133 left, we got him locked in. It doesn't look like anybody else done. I don't know. Panda Man might have gotten his stuff out. He's not going to have enough time to set a lap anyways. But now we just get to wait on him. It's good stuff.
Yep, and I'm not too sure if he has actually joined in midway because he was just on an outlap. Looks like he's on an outlap again. So I think he has joined in midway. I'm just waiting for in the chat if the drivers are saying to tell him to retire.
I don't think he came in late.
Yeah, I'm not too sure neither.
Matter of fact, I'm thinking he was one of the first people out.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm kind of curious about what's going on here. If he crosses the line without that checker flick, because that is it for qualifying. It should be. No, it still allows him to go through. And he has 3 minutes of time on the top right. So I really don't know what's going on with him. Yep, Owen, Natty, and Crew Steamers are all texting in the Discord. Yep, lobby's glitched. Oh, and actually, Panaman saying that he already retired 2 minutes. 2 minutes ago.
Good old Codemasters. When was that last patch? Because it broke it again. So this must be the AI. It'd be nice if it would force. Okay, it just forced it, and now it says he left the session. Yeah. So what does this mean?
Maybe a restart, and I don't know if we actually did the commentator's curse on this, but if we actually have to make the setup, please someone in the admin take a screenshot or save a clip of the starting lineup.
Let me just hit X and see what happens.
Yep, we just have to wait and see. Panaman said, Owen told Panaman to leave the session and rejoin. Hopefully that resolves his issues. If he is stuck, because I've seen this glitch before, if he will most likely be stuck at the formation lap. So hopefully everything will be fine. The top 10 will be forced to start on their set of softs as Gilfie and Sam Brooks lead the front row. But we'll be right back for the race start. Let's see how these drivers tame Hungary. It's going to be difficult for them out there.
Yeah, we got 35 laps. There's going to be a lot of tire nursing in this race. Just the design of the track. I don't know what the temperature is going to be, of how much it'll have an impact. It is Budapest, so it's going to get out. But we will find out. Hopefully we have no network issues or anything like that. Of course, I just, at this point my PlayStation will probably catch on fire, so.
Well, for me, that'll probably be my internet box, my tower. But 10 seconds for the drivers to get their pit strategies, get everything sorted for the race start. Is Panaman going to be stuck on the formation lap, or will he be able to take control of his car? That is the main point. If we actually can continue with this race, formation lap will start right now.
Yeah, the big stories to point to for this week. Can Guelphy go the complete race and dominate? Can Sam Brooks finally step up with the old Pirate not on? Is it going to hurt the team, or is Sam Brooks going to shine without being held back by the Pirates? Folksy, can he get it done without running into any issues with other competitors? The same goes with Owen, and can Simster finally get over the hump and get this win? These are the 5, and I guess the next story would be Guitar Man Khan. Can he put it all together for an entire race besides one good lap?
Ooh, and I'm looking at this now. So the top 10 on the set of softs, as they were the tires that they used in the qualifying, that everyone else on the set of mediums, except for Crew Steamer, is going to go on the set of hards for the long stint. So a bit curious to see if this actually works.
No.
But with Paige Big Ed, she needs to get past Crew Steamers as quick as possible, because with behind those hard compounds, her mediums are going to be working extra hard to try and keep up. But she does have the skills. Let's see if they will pay the bills.
Starting to wonder whoever is managing that team that Crew Streamers and Craigies are on, if they may need to start looking at other options that are out there. They both opt out of qualifying and they start on the hards, at least Crew Streamers. I guess I need to bring all that up so I can actually see where these guys are at with their tires.
Yep, if only we had the same sort of controls as Gran Turismo in the comms box. Because honestly, I swear, you would love it, Feldman, because you'll be able to do instant replays, you'll be able to do all of that good stuff.
Oh yeah. Might be too overwhelming.
Yeah.
But we got half and half there. It's really weird that literally half the field's on softs, the other half's on mediums, and you got cruise streamers on hards. So it did bring up the tire strategy. You can do a one stop with hards. So is cruise streamers hoping to nurse that until like lap 25 and then go to a soft? No, because we're going to have safety cars, which is really going to throw that strategy out the window anyways. Best thing to do, everybody going on softs, I think, is going the right strategy right now. The ones in the mediums, I don't think it's going to take a couple of safety cars for them to capitalize on that unless we get lucky and nothing happens. We are lining up here.
Only time will tell. Cruise Steamers and Page both getting disqualified from the formation lap last second.
There you go.
Won't be losing that much. Oh, and looks like we're good. We are underway.
I can't see squat. Red. It's time to go. Oh, come on. Somebody started early. Green! And I'm in a terrible camera view here, but we are off and launching into this long straight, going in this hard hairpin. A couple darts back and forth. Clear line there for Guelphy. Folksy coming up the inside. Takes the lead if he can hold it. Blocks him out. Tries a crossover with Guelphy. Did not work. Folksy bold and strong coming out of turn one. Simster moves up a spot two. They're double side by side going into turn three. I take that back, turn two, coming out of turn three, and the speed will be off, and they will be off to the races as Folksy starting to separate.
Oh, we're looking at 3 wide near the back with David Boyer, Guitar Man Khan, and Bubbers, but they all had to yield to give the space there. The Guitar Man and Bubbers having a little bit of collision into turn 4, and what a start, I gotta say, for Cruise Steamers on those set of hards, is able to get past the medium drivers. I'm a bit speechless, as you can tell. Guitar Man Khan and Panama Gaming and Guitar Man Khan has spun off the track with the drive through penalty as well. It's not going to be a good scene for him. Cruise Steamers has also spun, and he has lost his right end plate. Same goes with Page. So damage already to the cars near the back as these drivers are trying to get as much of an early start as possible. A big dive there for De Silva to push his way into 14th.
Again, Guitar Man Khan, once again, not able to put an entire race together. Or he couldn't put an entire lap together, as we just now completed the first lap. He was able to still a good qualifying time, but in the end result, it's not going to matter. So he is basically going to be out of contention as he's at the rear and into the pits.
Oh, Dylan trying to make the dive on Monster into turn 1. And that's what I was telling you earlier, Feldman. These drivers having the right mentality to make the dive into these corners. Tight racing out here tonight as they now carry their battle into turn 2 and 3. Monster has the faster exit around the outside.
They're gonna wreck.
To turn 4.
They're gonna
and he's
wreck.
able to hold on. What happened?
I said they're gonna wreck.
No, they've actually cleaned it. They're all right. They're still going. Have faith in these drivers, Feldman.
Let's take a look back. They were starting to separate about a 2/3 of a second apiece here. Patty Pat is definitely somewhat within range of Man Bear Pig Man. As he's on the nose here, looking for that top 5. He's looking to finally get that golden arch. Not McDonald's, but looking to make just get that thing that's been out of reach all season in this race, if he can put it all together. Going a bit wide there as they go around the limp dick section, or what do you want to call it, the noodle doodle. Guelphy fastest lap as he's running down Folksy.
Oh, Patty Pat is going to go side to side with Man Bear Pigman into turn 1, and Patty Pat is able to get the position, and DRS has now been enabled, so they have to complete one full lap until they reach the DRS zone at the exit of turn 14. Who's going to be the one to capitalize? The T De Silva has spun around turn 1, so not looking good for some of the admins out there, except for Owen. Owen is up to 4th place to start off this race. An amazing start for the Red Bull driver.
As much as Khan fell back and really fell off, unfortunately Simster's fallen back a couple positions too. He's looking to rebound. We're going to see here when this DRS train run for a while, but might actually help Folksy propel even further out. As you even look at the mini map, and it just looks like a caterpillar going through the caves or something.
Actually, yeah. It's
So
like a caterpillar as it makes its way down.
They tied tight. They're coming through noodle doodles or coming around the last hairpin. Yeah, the noodle doodle. That section is so weird because it goes in at almost like a 80 or like a 70 or 80 degree corner, branches back out, and then it's just real tight. It's such a weird design, but these guys know best, I guess. But we got Guelphy right on the rear end after the DRS did something. See if he's going to make a move through here and brake late, try to force the issue.
Yep, and this is actually the one unique thing about Hungary is that the DRS zones is a bit different than what you would think, because both of the DRS zones are connected with the same DRS detection zone right before turn 14, and I think, if I have it correct, the only track that I remember it having it like that is at Mexico, where you would have the finishing straight into turn 1, and then you would also still have DRS when you make your way down towards turn 4 and 5.
Definitely makes a bit more sense. So I'm entrenched with this mini map. It's driving me nuts. I've never noticed it like this before. It's weird. Anyways,
you always have it where like the finishing straight's at the bottom, like oriented
yeah.
90 degrees, rotate on that.
Yeah, because usually this map should be facing where the bottom section, the two hairpins are at the bottom, and it's going up. Now it just looks like somebody's face with like a ponytail or some shit. I don't know. Anyways, we got the DRS zone. Folksy trying to break the draft. Guelphy. All right, we got to move here on the outside. Can Guelphy make it stick? No, he will give up on life and not take that position. It's Guelphy still holding strong. We got the rest of this DRS section. Not really enough room there coming off of that hairpin to actually make something stick, though. It'd be better off having this section right here as a DRS going into that back end, but it was my decision.
Yeah, that would actually made it a little bit more dangerous, especially with even though it has a lot of runoff area, they might have to extend the race exit there, and having people go side to side into that corner, very, very difficult to actually pull through. But with that hairpin, actually, you were talking about of turn 2, we actually saw with the real life scene with Lewis Hamilton trying to get past Fernando Alonso, and he was defending like a true champion. And the only way that I would suggest that you would go past is try to get the switchback on the exit there. You would have to outside run, you would have the faster line, and you'll be able to make your way towards turn 4 and get the overtake there. But it's very difficult to actually get that down.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, like I said, there's not a lot of opportunities to pass in this track unless you just overcome somebody's mistake. DRS open here for Guelphy as he's trying again. Closes in on the rear. Good camera shot. Back again to the outside, but having that position the Folksy's got, unless you got massive power, you're not getting by on the outside on turn 1. But we do have side-by-side here. Guelphy actually still not making a stick as he's forced to the outside of all these corners. Brilliant driving here by both Folksy and Guelphy. A matter of keeping it clean. Sam Brooks is just eyeing the opportunity to steal that cheese when nobody's looking.
Well, if he was here, the one person that would steal all the cheese would be T-Mouse for obvious reasons. But this is exactly what Sam Brooks wants. He wants the drivers up ahead to battle each other out, force themselves to get into like very let's say hazy type of scenarios to where it would increase the chances of having a mistake, and then that's when he was capitalizing a patient game for Sam Brooks. But still, behind them, the only downside to that is that he has the dirty air, so his rubbers will be working extra hard out there. And I think that's what Guelphy is really experiencing and really wants to get past as soon as possible. So I think that might be the reason, not just only for the race lead, of course.
There's somebody coming in the pits already. Who is that?
Oh, and that's Sam Brooks. So
bold strategy here. Are they going on the one-stop strategy where they go to hards?
He might just trying to get the undercut. I'm not too sure.
Sam Brooks has been known to do the hards this year. Let's see what happens here. Not mediums.
Oh, and looks like Lily.
Wow.
Yeah, that was it. I forget which le sound we actually gave him. But yeah, he had a little bit of an incident with Monster there. Monster closing the door into turn 1, and Lal didn't really anticipate it. But yeah, now loses the position to Mason and falls down to 9th. But talking about Mason, the third driver to get a time penalty out there, 3 seconds for multiple warnings of corner cutting.
Kudos to early on for Patty Mayonnaise running with the big boys here, top 5.
I mean, he is one of the big boys if you think about it. Got that extraordinary race finish at Russia. Just got very unlucky with a few incidents over the field in the last couple of weeks. But let's see how he's going to take this now. Owen now right on the tail end of Gylfi, almost touching the diffuser. But let's see. Gylfi could be getting the position here. Only 2/10 now actually on the exit. Could be getting it here.
Not enough room there to make a run, though. Same thing's going to happen. See if he can block to the outside. But maybe he's got enough to get around it. No, Guelphy pushes in hard, and they push to the outside. The bump is there. A little bit too defensive for Folksy to take that. Oh, and capitalizes. Going 2 seconds. Here comes the Mayonnaise. Podium runner. Mayonnaise.
He couldn't get the rush there, but Gylfi really got unfortunate with that. Folksy couldn't slow down the car enough to give him the space on the outside, and unfortunately got contact, got pushed off the track, and will now fall down to 4th place for the time being. I don't know if the stewards will have anything to talk about that one, but as it stands now, Folksy is still leading this race.
I feel Folksy definitely pushed him out further than he needed to push him out, but Owen and Patty Mayonnaise not only saw an opportunity, they took it. Second and third now. Patty Mayonnaise was arguably his best run of the season. In third, thankfully Russia will not be in the game next year, so that's a good thing because that track is awful. May we never speak of it again. Folksy right now still holding on to the lead, unfortunately at the chagrin of Guelphy's bump, with Simster right behind him looking to capitalize even more.
Yep, and Gylfi now goes into the pit lane as well. And this is actually where we can manage to see if the undercut is powerful here. As you do remember, Sam Brooks earlier went on the set of mediums a few laps prior. And let's see, is Gylfi going to lose out to the position on Sam Brooks as he's now coming around the final corner here?
Ooh, we got side-by-side Patty. Try the nudge. Ooh, comes in quick and saves it. Look at, they made contact. Oh, it comes around. There was contact. Hook the wheel. Owens back in, comes out, I think gets choked by Boyer. Not a good position there. So Folksy, he's like playing in innocent defense, but not really. He's putting himself in a position where the pass can't be made without any sort of aggression. But to, I don't know. That's 2 now. That's questionable.
Yep, but the steward's going to have a busy night right now. Only 2 incidents, and Folksy could be losing some major positions if it's put against him here. But that's why you see right now Patty Pat just try to keep it easy. He does not want to get spun off this track. He already had incidents in the previous race last week and the week before.
Well, you're seeing the last 2 people jump off the bridge, but he will actually inherit the lead. Folksy's pitting a Patty Mayonnaise will get his first lap lead of the season as far as I'm aware. Simster behind him. Folksy comes out of the pit, or he's still in the pits. I take it back. Boyer in third. We got a brilliant stop the race, stop the count. We'll take this top 3. Call the night. We're good.
Well, if you were Michael from the FIA, then that probably would happen, knowing his history, especially at Abu Dhabi. But I'm actually looking at it now, and you really see how powerful that undercut is. Gylfi and Sam Brooks are now ahead of Owen, and also ahead of Folksy. So that undercut really powerful here earlier on in this race. Sam Brooks could be looking at a provisional race lead once the drivers ahead of him make their pit stops, because he's leading the drivers that actually already made the pit stop now.
I mean, in real life, in this race, going to hards makes sense, but the fact is, there will be a safety car. It will come. We have not had one yet, surprisingly. We've had incidents. Nobody's going careening across the track, but we are 10 laps into this and about a third of the way through, and there's been no yellows. But I don't think the hards are fine if you think you can keep the pace and get to the end. And we got 4 guys on hards right now, and the top 2 are still on softs. That's the way to go. Patty Mayonnaise making it work with old softs as long as you've got that distance so you can pit. Just wait. Boyer gets around Simster's pitting it, right? Or does Simster spin out? No, he's pitting.
Yeah, Simster just went into the pit lane there to go for a set of mediums. But that's the one thing about tracks like Hungary, also tracks like Mexico as well, where the tires with you going those fast corners and tight turns as well, the temperatures will get seriously high very quick. And with you going on the medium compound or even starting on the hards like cruise steamers, if you're able to hold on to it, it might actually be able to help manage with the tire temps, and you might not even lose that much pace off of it as well. So you could still be in like DRS zone to make up for that that loss.
It's also worth noting that right now, Sam Brooks' strategy to pit about 3 laps before everybody else did is kind of lining up to work out right now. Especially if they get a safety car and they can he can go in ahead of everybody else. But obviously, if it could happen now, they wouldn't pit again. But strategy kind of paying off. I thought he might have pitted a bit early, and right now it seems to be working. As Patty Mayonnaise continues to milk those softs for everything their work. You can see the metal sticking out of the rubber. Boyer, same thing, but at least he's on mediums. But 11 laps on these softs, Mayonnaise don't give a crap.
Yeah, he's
no craps mayonnaise.
No craps mayonnaise.
Yeah.
But yeah, Patty is still going in. I'm curious to see how long those softs can actually last out there. It's gonna be very difficult, and especially with a track like this, I'm not too sure. But Paige, wow, what an overtake from Paige just then. She's not usually one to try and make some sort of move. She's always the one that's very passive, but she's actually putting out the heavy guns out there and getting past Owen, who is on the set of hards. Paige now up to 16th as she started at the back of the grid.
I guess Owen, who was in position to lead this, is not really making up any ground on those hards, which might come back to bite him in the butt. But if you're in the hards, even if Guitar Man Khan's slowing way down, that might have been him in Sector 2 causing that yellow. Yep. Anyways, Mayonnaise, 11 laps. But yeah, Owen, if you're Panda Man, I mean, Panda Man and Bubbers really weren't going to make a dent in, but Owen had, one of the top 5 chances to get at least on a podium. But on the hards, he just, I guess, doesn't pit again, even if there's safety cars and his pace isn't there. Because at that point, if you plan on pitting again, they're using the wrong strategy going to hards.
Yeah, that is fair. You just got to make sure that you nurse those set of rubbers until the end of the race. And if you don't, then you're really going to be messing up your pitch strategy. But one person that I'm still curious about with their strategy, Pat, is still out there on those set of softs. I would have gone in like around lap 10, seeing the performance of the undercut from Sam Brooks on Gilfie and Folksy.
Here's the thing for me, it's the right decision, because if you're on worn tires, maybe not anymore. If you're on worn tires and you can maintain that gap, milk it for as much as you can. But as you just saw there, he went off the track. He's basically going to have to come in this lap because those tires don't have anything left. Otherwise, he's going to find himself with that back end coming out, and hopefully he can get around. He's still got a 2.5 second lead. But as you saw, Folksy had the fastest lap of the day so far, so they're creeping. Now, here we go.
Do you think that he could potentially be looking at hoping for a safety car? Because he saw a few...
that too. Trust me. But right now, if it's working, you go with it, but he is slowly losing time. Does he pit? He's coming in. He's finally giving up. 13 laps on those softs. Does Boyer come behind him? No, Boyer will actually inherit the lead in the Haas. Boyer, Zalmo, Mason Jar will be your top 3 right now on these aging-ass tires. As Sam Brooks on the early pit strategy is licking his chops. But speaking of licking chops, here comes the Guelph going under the Craigies of Folksy right behind it. Ooh, there's a little bit of payback coming for that Folksy and that Guelph. And what we've seen earlier, I seen it here on the outside. Folksy trying to undercut there and a tight move on Kreggles. Ooh.
Yeah, he pulled the switchback perfectly on the exit of turn 3, and that's what I was talking about. Get that switchback on that corner, and you're able to make your way through. And now Folksy will be eyeing down the Williams of Gilfie just ahead of him. We'll be getting the DRS, and now we'll be having the let's say
Get a
the other
Ferrari
POV of him battling off. Yeah, and I think that's De Silva spinning around turn 1 once again. So
No
he's
yellow.
still
No safety
struggling.
car.
Yep, doesn't look like he lost anything. Did he lose anything?
Did not. Boyer is out here mowing the lawn at that same pace. Still not pitting. So trying to give his sponsors a little bit of thumbs up here as he leads the race. Boy, 14 laps in the mediums. He's going to have to come in at least in the next 2 laps. They can make it work. Mason is basically putting up this little blockade between Sam Brooks. Sam Brooks should make no hesitation to pass Mason here. Well, tires are half the age of what Mason has. Using the ERS around the curve here, still nothing.
He just really needs to keep it on the concrete, get this clean overtake, and you can see Mason has absolutely no more ERS. That rear light is flashing on that Mercedes, and plus Mason has a time penalty as well. So Sam Brooks doesn't even need to make this overtake, but he has to as well, because Gylfi is starting to catch up, and he needs to get past the gap now between them. 1.9 seconds between Sam Brooks and Gylfi, and you can see the time just closing down a little bit.
What we need here is Brooks to be in DRS zone, but Guelphy just out, and he still looks like he's out right now by about 2 seconds. We're coming into the Olympic section here, the Oodle Noodle, and we'll see how they come off the corner, because yes, Mason is holding Sam Brooks up, and to have that separation in there. Top 3 still have not pitted as they get around another lap here. Let's see how this opens up. Brooks gets around here, number 3. ERS is on for Mason. Quick move to the inside there, and Brooks will take it cleanly into turn 1. Smooth transition.
We'll have DRS on the exit as well to solidify that overtake. Now in the podium positions, starting to eye down the old medium runners of LZ Albo and David Boyer in the lead. And with him having those newer set of mediums, he's going to be able to shorten that gap as quick as possible.
I don't know about that, but he's got 3.5 seconds, but that means no dirty air right now, so he can do what he needs to quickly to get up there. And then hopefully he'll just inherit the lead as they'll pit. And Mason might still remain that safety net between the other 2 behind him, Guelphy and Folksy. Don't you think Guelphy forgot about what Folksy did and take that lead? So, of course, right behind them is Simster, who is getting around a lapped car. I believe that's Silva. I don't know if it's officially a lap, but they're 40 seconds down.
Yep,
Kreggles. Woo! Pigman on the tail. That diffuser. Trying to cut in a little bit early there. Trying to get around the Kreggles.
Changing the lead here, Feldman. LZ Albo with the overtake. Now into turn 1. He's going to get the position. And you can see Mason is still holding off Gylfi and his teammate of Folksy. Folksy getting a little bit of a wider line around turn 1. Couldn't get it done. Pigman Man.
That's a block. Was that a double move on the defense there for Mason? I'm not sure about that. It looked like that was a double move. But
it was a double defensive move, yes. But look at this now. Is Gylfi going to look for the move? He couldn't get the space. He knows that uphill left-hander of turn 4, very difficult to go side to side. And the thing is, Gylfi needs to get past Mason as quick as possible, but Mason needs Folksy to catch Gylfi out on the act of trying to make the overtake. So Mason really playing the team game here.
There's some really bad camera views. It's too close. I can't really get a good eye on the action. But yeah, he's in a Mercedes sandwich here. Guelphy kind of stuck because any move he makes is gonna. Hopefully the teamwork sets it up.
Here comes Folksy
on the inside.
Let's see if he's gonna get it. Now on the outside, and he has done it. Mason as well.
The teamwork of the Mercedes. Brilliant job there. Folksy is the villain. There's no doubt about that. After that, what a setup. What a setup. As Guelphy into the pits, he's like, I'm going to just race for another day. I guess he's going to go to the softs. It's hoping the strategy pays off. This is kind of weird. Kreggles is in too, but he's on 17 lap mediums. What is Guelphy going at? Guelphy's going back to the mediums.
Guelphy back on the mediums.
Bold move there, Cotton. Yeah, that's kind of weird. because he's still got Boyer and Lizalbo out here maintaining gaps. Brooks hasn't called him yet.
Well, let's see if it's going to pay off now. Mason pulling practically a Sergio Perez at Abu Dhabi here at Hungary. Nothing for the championship, I don't believe, but still, you kind of see that essence from what happened at Abu Dhabi in the real life Formula One scene.
I've got a question. Is it always cloudy in Budapest, or we got some rain coming? Because it's getting dark.
It is getting a bit dark, yeah. Now that you say it, it is starting to get a bit darker.
The race started sunny.
Started very, very sunny. I can actually check that real quick as I have the stream up on here. Yeah, it was way brighter. It was way brighter at the beginning. We could be looking at a wet end to this race.
Bold move there. Simpson going the inside of Mason. I take that lead. Not that lead. I take that back. Take that fifth. It comes fighting back. Oh, they're knocking boots here going into the turn two. That was a clean pass there by Semster.
Yep, he's got the younger set of mediums, I do remember. Yep. So was able to get the position perfectly there. But Sam Brooks is now on the tail end of David Boyer. Let's see if Sam Brooks is going to be able to get back to where he started in second, and could be looking at a potential first place once he gets these overtakes done.
Folks, he's still coming with the excellent teamwork to get to make Guelphy basically pit and rethink his tire strategy. Folks, he's coming right behind there as you see a move here by Brooks, but nothing there. He's trying to get close to make a move. Going to get under the nose here of Boyer. Now he's on the outside. Will switch back, do anything here? It will not, as Boyer stays out. The 18 laps for Lizalbo and Boyer. Can they make it work all the way?
He has crashed out on the final corner. Nokito is out of this race. He has crashed out on the final corner exit, and he is now... Yep, and you can see the damage. Wow.
Safety car yet? No safety car yet. Kind of strange. That was in the track. I'm smelling hacks.
I'm smelling some BS over here.
Yeah, there is no safety car, even though there's clearly a car in the track. So we race on, and Lizalbo, 3-second lead on basically riding around on the rims of his wheels. 19 laps in those mediums. Boyer's still out there too, has not pitted. My dog is going nuts. Sam Brooks sitting kind of nice as he's just creates a better buffer for Brooks, because eventually that lead will come. Boyer getting around. Boyer is fighting off Folksy at this point. Gotta wonder if that rain's coming now.
I'm not too sure. It looks like it's staying practically just cloudy. It's still dry.
We got 15 laps left. And Boyer gives up and pits. Brilliant drive on old tires. His elbow just keeps it going. I mean, that shit must be like sandpaper at this point. 20 laps on mediums.
That's an ultra grit on those set of rubbers. But let's see. Is he going to go for a set of softs? He's got to, right?
No, he's going hards.
Wow. Hards compounds.
I don't understand that. But it is 15 laps. And you don't have to worry about pitting again. Guelphy with the fastest lap. Going back on those mediums on that early pit. You see a couple of things lining up here. Boyer is out in front of Monster, both on hards. It's like two wet noodles rubbing against each other here. I don't know whether they're going to pass each other or not. Penny Mayonnaise back into 7th. He's on some fresher mediums, more fresh than everybody in front of him. Mason's still out 20 laps. I think they're just happy to be nailing it like they are. Haha is done. Simster on 9-lap tires here. But Lizalbo, which is strange, which is even weirder, is he's still maintaining a 3-second gap. So Brooks actually is not catching him as Folksy is catching Brooks, but Brooks is not making up any time.
And I think that's the one thing about LZ Albo is that with these clouds coming in now, it's actually going to cool down the track.
Yes.
Which means he's going to be able to manage those tire temps a bit easier now. And with going with an even longer stint on those set of mediums, could be looking at a set of red compounds at the end of this race. So,
Folksy again. Oh, he bumps and he spins around. That's what you get when you get your heartbreak or whatever that song was. He got too antsy, bumped the diffuser, enough to cause the back end to wiggle, and then came all the way around. Mr. Aggression now back behind his teammate who's on 21 lap old tires.
And with Folksy losing that left side end plate, is going to be struggling to defend against Patty Pat as he makes it easily around and into 5th place. Folksy now just struggling with the traction, as you can see through the chicane, just struggling to get staying in the traction in the track limits, I should say. Sorry.
Oh, he's got Patty Mayonnaise also running down his teammate, but here's the thing for Sam Brooks. That just relieved all pressure, because all it is dotting the I's and crossing the T's and marking off the calendar. Because Lozano is going to pit. That's the whole thing. He's got a 4-second advantage on Simster and another 4-second advantage on Mason, who also needs to pit. Brooks is looking kind of pretty right now after Folksy got also just nailed with a time penalty. And he's in the pits. He's probably going to go to softs now. I mean, it's this time you're going to come and you're going to go to softs. Mayonnaise gets around Mason for 4th, eyeing that podium. It's on fresher tires. And right now, he's in position to get that podium. And Folksy does go on softs.
Oh, and you can see that Mason is trying to fight back on Patty Pat there with that dirty air and trying to miss the break, almost missing the braking zone into the back of Patty Pat, but was just able to hold on to that Mercedes. And yeah, I think we could be seeing a representative about what happened back in Russia with Patty Pat. I don't know if you saw the footage actually, Feldman, but he was absolutely screaming out in joy when he got that 2nd place. I believe 2nd at Russia.
Well, he started out the season pretty slow. Now he's definitely building his consistency and confidence. But as we see right now, he's got 5 seconds to make up to get that podium. But again, if he just bides his time, isn't aggressive. I don't know. Lozano nurses this home. And somehow he's gaining time on Sam Brooks. You gotta start questioning Hacks. That's all I gotta say. He was banned from qualifying. We already know he's up to no good. He's got shenanigans up his sleeve. But 23 laps on mediums is absurd. Yes, the track has cooled down, but I don't know how superbly this game takes that into account. Maybe just enough. But hey, like I said, if you can make it work, it works. But does it get to the point where the tires degrade enough where we get a puncture? I don't know if punctures are enabled.
Well, I mean, if we're seeing damage on the cars after an incident, punctures are enabled, hands down, because that's how it works in this game. But you gotta admire Albo's effort here, just making those mediums last as long as possible, gain a lot of laps led for the end of the season, and he's doing an exceptional job. I'm actually looking at the chat as well, because Basil saying, "Let's go, my brother Albo," in the chat.
God,
so
somebody just went off the course. The Ferrari just went straight into the wall. Who was it?
The Silva. And still no safety car? Okay, now what's going on here?
So I think somebody said, I think who set up this room, I bet you they didn't enable safety cars.
Yeah, well, it was Owen, so there might be something going on.
Yeah, something was clearly missed out on that. We've never gone a race without a safety car. We've had 2 instances and there's no safety car. And it makes me wonder if tire degradation is actually happening, but we saw Patty Pat struggle, so it's definitely a thing. I'm going to put asterisks on this race. I ain't going to lie about it, because nobody in their right mind can drive 24 laps on a medium set of tires in hot temperatures and lead the race. Brooks on 17 laps of mediums now. Guelphy's making up time. He's on 6 laps. Folksy with his fastest of the day. Back down to 12th, though, after his shenanigans there. And then the pit. Both Mercedes, the only 2 teams, are the only 2 on softs right now.
Well, anything can happen as we actually are witnessing that. And I'm still surprised how LZ Albo is still going at it. Because you can see the wear mark. You can see that line on the inside of those set of front tires. even on the back as well. So I am so curious about what's going on. He might have been going for like just a pure tire saving setup on that Aston Martin, but whatever it is, it's working.
Tire saving doesn't amount to pace, though, bro. I got yeet cheat sheets, what I'm calling on this, because there's no way in hell, especially if you get to the end of this, it's not right. Sam Brooks has got to be angry.
I have no idea. Lemony Tang is saying the same thing as well. One of our very own commentators here. He says 24 laps, LOL. Mediums can. Oh, and actually, Basil says mediums can easily go 25 at Hungary.
Oh, that's
Must
the track, I guess. Yeah, I guess so. And Sam Brooks eyeing, but that still means he's got a pit because there's 9 laps left. But the chew and brew here, I don't really see it lasting, but kudos to him.
Does he have to pit? Because if he went on a set of intermediates, you could actually not pit on a set of intermediates and finish the race. I'm not sure how that rule works, if it's replicated for slicks.
You got to pit once. But did he pit in the first lap? Because he's on these for 25 laps. Wasn't he involved? When he started at the back of the field, was he involved in the incident and then immediately pitted?
No, he actually wasn't, no. He hasn't pitted at all. So,
well, we're hitting lap 27, and he's on 26 laps of those tires. Trying to figure out the math on that.
Yep, I am not.
Did he pit in the first lap and just go to mediums and start on softs, or what?
Well, it doesn't say that he made a pit stop. Sam Brooks is now into the pit lane, though. Paddy Pat is now in the podium.
Paddy Pat and Simster. I really feel like Sam Brooks missed out on the opportunity, but here's the thing. Sam's going on softs. Is in 4th, and it's going to be a shootout here towards the end. See if he comes out in front of Man Bear Pig. Can he get out ahead? Does he get out ahead? And he did. No, he lets him get by in the corner. So he's got to get back around Pigman Man. Man Bear Pig. Terrible name to say.
Sam Brooks going to get it now, though. He's going to look on the inside here. But Pigman closing the gap in that corner. Very good defending from the Aston Martin. Oh, and here he goes. Sam Brooks with the ERS. He's around the outside, and Pigman has to yield as he has to give up the position down to 5th. But a good result so far for the Aston Martin team. A 1st and a 5th as it stands right now.
So here's the thing. We're looking at the stops. Somebody kindly brought that up in the chat. I forgot that was an option. Albo's not stopped at all, so he has to stop or he's disqualified. You can't not stop. You have to have one pit stop.
Well, let's see if, let's see what's going to happen here as he's making his way now to start lap 28 out of 35. 8 laps left around the Hungary ring. It's going to be close. That's all I can say.
Somebody's taking advantage of something here because there were 2 incidents with no safety car. Clearly, Aston's paid off somebody for this race, Owen. And we got Sam Brooks here, 10 seconds back on the softs. Really squandered that opportunity in 2nd on fresher tires and couldn't make it stick.
I mean, hey, it would make sense with Aston Martin being a former sponsor of Red Bull. Mm-hmm. So it would make sense. Oh, but actually you can see the gap now. Simster was around 6 seconds behind LZ Albo. And you can really start to see the gap shorten down.
Yeah.
It's now 5.2 seconds. So I don't know if Simster has picked up the pace or LZ Albo is really feeling those old setup mediums come into effect.
I think the math is, Simster's got to make up both Simster and, Simster's got to make about 1/3 of a second per lap, which he's easily doing right now as they went from 5.2 to 4.9 basically in one sector to the next. So Simster will be running down in the Alpha, which will probably not actually compete very well in Formula 1 this season. But we'll see what Simster can do. And finally maybe get off of that hump and get that win. I don't think he's going to win this year. There was action behind between Boyer and Pigman. Boyer, I'll take that back. It's Boyer and Guelphy. Guelphy in the tail. Should get him as Boyer making it work in the hards fairly decently after he led some laps. But we should see Guelphy get around him here. Sam Brooks with the fastest lap on those softs. Lining up here, going to the inside. No block there. Easy passes, easy pickings for Guelphy to take the Austin top 6 as he eyes down Pigman. But Simster now 4.5 back from the Albertsons, Green Beans, Zalbo. It's got to pit. I'm going to have to pit. DSQ.
You know, I'm actually gonna look this up because I'm actually very curious. Because I know on wet conditions, you're able to just use that one tire compound to the end of the race.
Yeah, it's just on wet conditions, and that's it. Everything else, you got to pit. And the sun's back out, so it's not going to rain. So that faux rain was not happening. 4.1 now.
He still stays out. There's got to be something going on in that garage of the Aston Martin. Really don't know exactly what's going on out there.
Again, if you can make it work, you can make it work. But right now, wait, what am I looking at here? Is he? Looks like Lazaba's on the tail end of. Is that a lapper?
Yeah, that's Paige. She actually had to spin a few laps ago and has really messed up her pace. But she started at the back, still could finish in a very good position. Guitar Man Khan has just crashed out.
Safety car! There it is! There's no hacks.
Wow!
The game just did something, so this kind of... does this work out in Alba's advantage? Yeah, you have to pit. You're required to make one compound change no matter what. Unless it's rain.
You gotta say everyone's going to pit at this point.
Not Sam Brooks.
Well, I mean...
I think Sam Brooks might have just won this race. We'll have about 3 laps left. Sam Brooks will not pit.
Time penalty's going to mess him up, though.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't realize he got a penalty.
Yep, that time penalty's really going to mess him up. Dylan.
But here's the other thing. If you were bold and one of those hards, you stay out. So everybody in those hards, if they pit, they're dumb. They just wasted time. So the hards, if you're Boyer, you could easily have second when they start to stand back up. Same thing with Monster, but he's on older hards, but still... Those should make it to the end of the race easy, especially if those mediums can go 30 laps. But Sipster is back in. He's going to cave. That means Mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is coming in too. So that means Brooks. Let's take a look at our penalties. Our jail time here. 3 seconds, that's it. He can win this by 3 seconds. Everybody's going to go back to softs, though. Yes, as you look at the top 4 are on softs.
Oh, Albo is still in the lead coming out of the pit lane.
What in the hell? What?
Albo is in the lead after the pit stop.
I call collusion! How?
What sorcery is this?
Collusion.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and Natty says it as well. Yeah, you're required to make one compound change if it's dry. Yeah, but hey, it doesn't matter now. Albo, it's like he did a magic trick on us. I gotta say, Feldman, how was he able to make those mediums last that long?
The 2 races I've seen, he's shown some ability to make things work. But the other race he didn't really put it together at the end. But now we get to see if he can actually hang on here on these softs. Isn't he a tier 1 driver? Didn't you mention?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, Guitar Man Con, I agree. You shouldn't have crashed. That's why.
Else crashed, no safety car. I crashed, safety car. I mean, Guitar Man, we actually saw the same thing back at the Canadian Grand Prix, where we saw one person crashed out at the Wall of Champions, no safety car. Another one crashed out the same exact spot, same way, and it was a safety car.
Yeah, Lozalo definitely the early runner for driver of the day as he started last. And he's first. So, how much
that is true, but I'd say also a good shout out for Mason though, because Mason did very well to hold off Gilfy to let Folksy through, but Folksy just messed up his chances to hold on to that position.
Yeah, Folksy back in 10th and Gilfy back in 7th. But here's the thing, we're gonna have about a 2-lap shootout here. Thing is, Albo's got to get those tires up to temperature. It's going to take that long to do that. Brooks are already at peak. They're already entering peak performance on those softs. So,
well, let's see who's going to be the one to prevail. Only a few laps left here. It's going to be a close one, Feldman, but don't go anywhere, guys. About 3, maybe 2 laps left around the Hungary ring.
Yeah, this race has been pretty insane with the events. The 2 leaders bumping. The guy that clearly had the pace early on, getting too aggressive a couple times, and now he's back in 10th. But the guy that was just sitting on his thumb Just let it come to him, and then made it work. Lazal is in the lead. Sam Brooks, who's had opportunities to make something stick. Maybe third time's a charm here for him to get this lead. Simster, yet another one that just can't get over that hump to get the win. He's right there in third for that podium. Paddy Manning's a brilliant driver, probably the best drive of the season for him. I guess, Russia was Russia, but this was, Russia doesn't count as a track because it's Russia. But, yeah, the track's awful. This is at least a better driver's track, so. And Mason, the Mercedes, making an appearance this week, currently in fifth. Did not pit, but he is at peak performance on those softs. He might be able to make up a position or two. It's going to be a fun shootout here at the end of this race, just like it was in Abu Dhabi back in November or December, whenever that was.
That's actually a good freaking question. I have no idea.
Anyways, the real season starts this week in Bahrain, which I used to hate Bahrain, but once they moved it tonight, the race became pretty good, I guess, because it's cool. It's the desert. It gets cold at night, so that grip is there. So they're a lot more aggressive with the cars. Let's see here. He's not still in, so we're only going to get like a lap left. Now, yeah, 34. We'll get 2 laps left. We'll get 2 laps. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be 2 laps as we are waiting for crew steamers to catch back up. Panaman back in the pit lane for another set of softs. So we're gonna have to wait and see how that goes, but yeah, everyone on the red compounds. Mason with the oldest one of 8 laps of softs as well. So it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close.
Yeah, Boyer had a pretty solid run today. Led for a little bit because he did not pit. It's like the Holtree, the hardy veteran. I don't know how old he is. He's probably like 6, but it just seems like he's that guy that's there, consistent. But I think he's gonna win in his career. I think last season he got a win that I commentated on. So we'll see. Kreggles, Dylan, Owen. Disappointing run for Owen back down in 13th. We had the position to make something happen, and it didn't.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for him. Currently lost 9 positions. So our biggest loser out on the track for Owen. And actually both of the Red Bulls not having a good result at all here today. But there it goes. Race control. Safety car is in this lap. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 laps left around the Hungaroring. Let's get this party started. Alba will start to lead the safety car. Sam Brooks currently in second with the time penalty. He needs to get that gap or else he will lose out of a podium position.
Yeah, this isn't fair, Michael, but we're going to see what happens here. Let's see if Lizalbo, where he holds him up at, already on the gas coming through that last section, whatever you want to call it. He's off, and we're off to the races here. A little bit spread up. Patty Pat right there. The mayonnaise making the move. Getting lined up close enough here to get close to get under it. He tries for it. Nothing there. Lizalbo almost up by a second at this point. Sam Brooks really missing out on an opportunity here. Really brilliant drive by Lizalbo, taking the qualifying penalty, starting at the back, somehow working magic with tires. No safety cars until the one that mattered most, where he came back out in first. And Sam Brooks now a second behind. Let's take a look here at the mayonnaise. We're going to have, 1 lap of DRS basically, or if they even open that?
It's going to be close. I really have no idea, to be honest with you. I have no idea what's going to happen. But I'm looking at Simster, Patty Pat, and Albo. So all 3 of them have 3 warnings to their name, probably at the beginning with the collision, but the other ones with corner cutting violations. So it's going to be close. Oh, Craigie has just gotten himself a 10-second time penalty for cutting the corner. And
he's hit. He's off the track. He's away from everything they shouldn't do with safety car. He's not even close to the track. Lizalbo now the fastest lap of the race. He's going to wrap this up. Let's not forget. Now Simpson with the penalty. Mayonnaise is going to get second. It's not going to be enough if he's got something up his sleeve for 2.5 seconds to make up in this final lap, or something happens to Lizalbo who cuts a corner. Lizalbo messes up. Patty Mayonnaise is going to win this race. Not to take away from Lizalbo's drive, but I'm still calling shenanigans.
He would go ballistic. You know he would go ballistic, like how he did at Russia. But only one way to find out. 2 sectors left to go on the final lap of Hungaroring. Albo leads the way. He's going to be called the nickname the Magician Aston Martin, or Aston Magician, as he was able to make those mediums last around 29 or 28 laps, I want to say. So Extraordinary leads the way. 1 sector left to go. 3 corners, as Feldman likes to say, the noodle corners, to finish off this race. Turns 12, now 13. This long left-hander towards turn 14. Albo has done everything he needed to do today. Extraordinary race. Started at the back, finished on top. Aston Martin to take the win here at Hungaroring. Albo has done it. Paddy Pat in second, and it looks like Sam Brooks in third. Oh, and actually, I want to show you this real quick. Hold on. You'll like this. You'll like this. So, I'm actually on board with Paddy Pat. Let's see how he reacted to the end of that. Here we go. Knew it. Love to see that.
Oh, God. Slapped some dukes on him and call it a day. Brilliant drive by the guys at first and second. Lizalbo I don't even know. Like, I don't know, but as you see, Lizalbo first, Paddy Mayonnaise second. Brooks comes in the third after that penalty, really squandering an opportunity. Very disappointing day, even to have a third. Semster fourth, Guelphy fifth, who was in contention for the win. And then Pigman sixth, Boyer seventh, Owen and Crew Streamers. Folksy, very disappointing day. Bubbers, actually solid for him, starting 15th and going up to 11th. Panda Man, Mason, who fell off in that last lap. I don't know what happened down that stretch. Maybe it was it might have been the penalties. And then Dylan in 14th. So a very unique race that strangely didn't see. We had 4 incidents, only 1 resulted in a safety car. We had the threat of rain. It didn't rain. We had somebody take tires out for basically the entire race. Get lucky with a damn safety car. Pitts comes out first, and yeah, that's the gist of it.
Extraordinary scenes here for Prospects Feldman. What have we just witnessed? 3 crashes out, only one of them being a late safety car call because Michael is definitely still in the game apparently, and Albo just pulling off the magician move here. He definitely had us all fooled.
Yeah, if he, like I said early on in the race, if you can make him stick, and you still maintain, unless you're losing time, there's no reason to pit and give up, unless you start losing the car. But that's where the quality control comes in and defines you as a driver, not necessarily what the setup of the car is. So, anyways, I am Feldman 9000.
I am Just Gaming or Justin.
So we will be back next week, I believe. How many races are left in the season?
I have no idea, but one thing that we are going to be looking forward to, Feldman, is tomorrow for Tier 3. We've had Tier 1, Tier 2, now Tier 3. Let's see how these drivers will take it.
All right. So from me, talk to you next week.
Lots of love and stay safe.